We are back in the building, and I tell you, life is absolutely incredible. Listen, if this is your first time, buckle up. If you're always coming back, we appreciate you. Team No Excuses presents The Ray Lewis Show. I'm just really excited today. I'm excited about a lot of things. I'm excited about life. I'm excited about getting up this morning. I'm excited about that God is so incredible. But I am even more excited to bring on someone that I became very close with. and this guy forever changed the way that I saw brotherhood. And without further ado, I want to bring him on. He's one of the heroes and stars on Beyond the Edge. He's now my new brother. I called my mom and told her she has another child. And without further ado, I want to bring in one of my closest friends now, Craig Morgan. What is going on, my friend? How are you?
I'm good, buddy. It's good to hear your voice. Good to see your face. I'm out in Texas doing some hunting, harvesting of turkey meat so that we can put some back for our freezer and be ready for the winter.
How often are you hunting, Craig? Every time I'm texting you or calling you, you sending me a picture from a tree.
Yeah, we start turkey season runs in middle of March to about the middle of May in various states. And because I tour as a touring artist, I try to book my hunts around the tour, because turkey hunting, it's pretty much in the mornings. You can have a great morning or you can have a really bad morning, which a bad morning means you still have a great day because you're in the woods. And man, it's some of the best for me. It's my spiritual time, my quiet time. I meditate, I pray. And so if I get a turkey or if I harvest an animal, that's just a bonus.
Okay. So out of all of the animals that you hunt, because you hunt everything, out of all the animals you hunt, what's the one animal you like to actually eat? The best meat that you actually eat? Okay.
You're going to laugh at me. And this is funny. This is a true story. I didn't know this until last year or year before. Is the first time I'd ever hunted sandhill crane. They call it the ribeye in the sky. Bro, I'm telling you, it tastes better than a ribeye steak. Bone-in ribeye. It's delicious.
I've never heard of this a day in my life. I don't even know what that is.
I'm telling you, man, I'm going to take you hunting. We're going to probably do turkey because it's just so interactive. Right now, the turkeys are gobbling. Oh, man, it makes my chest pound. Ooh.
Okay, listen. I got to do this to you, right? Because what a lot of people don't know is we became really close on the show that we did with Beyond the Edge. Spent 15 days in Panama, and we had to become very close to each other. But your second half of your life, your first half of your life, you are a country singer. You have one of the best voices that I have ever heard. When you want to get close to Jesus, call Craig. Right? You have that type of voice. Craig, you know I'm gonna do it to you. Just give me one quick verse, man. Give us one quick verse of a song. I got to do this. I got to do this, Craig.
Hey, I'm gonna listen to this. I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do, just because I'm writing a song right now with a buddy of mine in Tennessee, and I'm going in the studio on Monday. And I called him with this idea this morning. I seen a talk show, and the host was talking to an elderly woman on the phone, and she said, "Have you ever been on TV before?" And the old lady said, "Yes, honey, I've been on TV before, but oh wait a minute, I'm sorry. I do love Jesus, but I drink a little." So I came up with this idea, bud. It says, here we go. I'm going to pull this up for you.
All right.
Here we go. And I don't have no music with this now, so.
Let's go a cappella.
I may a little, but I still love Jesus. I don't try to hide it because I know he sees us. Yeah, my tongue is my rudder, and this wind is what I sail under. I may drink a little, but I still love Jesus.
Oh my gosh. You are absolutely incredible, man. I freaking love you. How can you make a song about drinking in Jesus? Oh my God.
I tell you how, man. Because he loves us all, no matter what we do.
No matter what we do. No matter what we do, man. So listen, so this transitions, right? We're in the jungle. And what do you think made, out of everybody there, Craig being serving this country, thank you so much for what you do, my friend. We had to pull the name back, Captain Morgan. We could not call you Captain Morgan. We had to go with Sergeant Morgan. But what was the connection with you in the jungle that we was in? And a personal question. When did you know that me and you was going to click the way that we click? Or did you know?
I can honestly say I've thought from the very get-go, because although you had not spoken about your spirit, about your love for God or any of that thing, dude, and I'm not just saying this because we're on your podcast. I tell people this all the time. I'm not kidding, that you had an aura about you. And it's hard to describe unless you're there, and you can feel your presence and your love. And I think that's missing in our world. And I seen that in you, and I felt it in you. And I knew like the minute we left and we're headed into the woods, the way that you were observing everyone, you were attentive to them in a way that I could tell that you were concerned, you were sincere, and there was going to be some, it was an emotional thing. And I seen that in you, and I knew right then. And in the jungle, and I said this to you, and I think I may have said this in an interview at some point, out there, we were stripped of anything and everything that made us who we are.
Yeah, right.
So we all became absolute 100% equals. And that's a beautiful thing. And I related it to, like, in combat, when soldiers go to combat, yeah, nothing where they came from doesn't matter. The color of their skin don't matter. All you care about is taking care of your people, and your people taking care of you. And that's what happened out there. And that's why I loved this show, because unlike a lot of other shows where they try to get everybody out of there and pit each other against each other, this was all about unity and helping each other and encouraging each other. And we need that in our world today.
Craig, not only do we need it, this is why I think me and you connected. How hard was it? And you are a military man, you done lived this life real time. But I need people to know, how hard was that to survive what we went through from a military perspective?
I mean, it was tough, man. I mean, here's the reality. Even having been in that environment and that situation, the lack of food, the sleep deprivation, those things play on you. They especially play on you when you know what you have and what you have the ability. All you had to do was ring that bell, and you can go back to a nice bed, warm shower, good food. So under normal circumstances, even, it's difficult. But when you're placed in that environment, and again, you have none of those resources, and you start going through the sleep deprivation and the food deprivation, it creates a mindset that makes it more and more difficult to process, even pain, those kind of things. But if you don't know all those things, it's really, really tough. As you know, I have a place in Alaska, and I bring people up there, and even I have guys that go hunting. Some of my hunting buddies, I tell them, don't plan on staying over 3 days because it's a lot to take in. People say you got running water, and I say, yeah. You run down to the lake, fill up a bucket, and run back.
Great. Where did your voice come from? When did you know you had that power in your spirit, man, to sing like that? Or have you always been a singer?
I've kind of always sang. My dad was a musician. He was a singer. Still to this day, my dad is a beautiful singer. His voice is, I mean, he's just got an amazing voice. So I feel like that's where it came from. But I'll be honest with you, I attribute every bit of it to God, because I didn't want to be a singer, bro. That wasn't my plan. I wanted to retire from the Army. I wanted to be a police officer. And, you know, and then I thought, if I'm good enough to write music, I'd love to write songs. But I never planned on being a singer, but God just kept pushing and kept pushing. And he never gave up on me. Never.
Right. See, and so this makes me transition, right? So I do something on the show, which we've been doing it for almost a year and a half, almost 2 years, where it's a championship mentality. And you just said something that was so key that I've been teaching and preaching, that when God got something for you, you can't even curse it. When he has something for you, it's for you, and he will deliver it. I guess my next thing, your ethos, your head, we spent a lot of time together, me and you. You truly believe in your heart anything is possible.
No questions whatsoever. If it's in God's will, there's nothing and no one can stop you. I mean, look what he did with people in the Bible. And always, bro, it was always somebody who should not have been that person. If God wills it that I be a linebacker, I'm 160 pounds, man. I ain't no linebacker, but if God wills it, there ain't a man that can stand in front of me, bro. Right?
Right. Absolutely, man. If there was this one thing in your life, I know personal stuff, forget going there, but if there is one thing that you can leave for people that's watching today to let them know that anything is possible, what would that message be?
Gratitude. Be grateful. And be grateful for every minute, every day. As you know, I lost my son. My son died in an accident. And I will tell you, I can honestly say it didn't take that accident for me to appreciate all that I had been blessed with. I wake up every day grateful for everything, and all I want to do is what God wants me to do. You know, I used to leave out in the morning and go, man, I'm going to go do God's work today. I just want to do God's work. But I realized that, I'm nowhere near capable of doing God's work. Only God can do God's work. So what I do is I focus on God. I love him, and I just hope and pray that I'm where he wants me to be, when he wants me to be, and then he's going to do great things. And he can do it with all of us. I'm not supposed to be where I'm at, but I am, because God wanted it to happen.
And see, that's what makes this such a moment for me, because we met in a tough position, but we found something in each other that it was okay for us to become vulnerable with each other.
Yes.
And you sharing that with me, we shared certain things out there, Craig, that I believe people need somebody, or somebody new in their life that will just love you for exactly who you are, right? Like, think about going backwards, man. And listen, I'm not gonna hold you long, but you were the only thing that gave us pure confidence in this jungle because of your background. I was willing, and me and Coach talked about giving up control to let the right person lead you. Most of the time we're being led by whatever emotions you want to be led by. But you're a man of stature, you're a man of God, you're a king, and you're a brother in my book. And man, I just wanted to tell you, it was the most exciting thing I've ever done in my life. But my favorite two things about you of all time, your voice singing and your voice when you laugh.
Oh God. I love you, bro.
I
Hey, I want to leave you. I want to leave you with one thing. You just said something, man, and this has hammered me. I just went to this men's retreat here recently called Acts, and I've never done anything like this, man. But there was a thing there, and you said it. You hit the nail on the head. We have to make ourselves vulnerable, and when you do it, man, it's so humbling, and it's just an amazing thing. And we were all vulnerable out there. And I think that's why. And you're right. You are my brother, bro. You call me, you know, I've got friends that when you need something, I don't care where you're at or what your need is, I will be there for you.
Yeah, brother.
If you broke the law, I'm gonna take you to the police department and help you get dirty. If you ride up, I'm right. I got you back, and ain't nobody gonna touch you. You're a big man, but I got a lot of guns. I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. You know I love you, buddy.
I love you. I love you so much, man. Thank you for getting on.
Thank you, bro.
All right, baby.
I'll send you some pictures tomorrow.
I know, with your tongue out.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Oh my goodness. I promise you, he may have one of the best voices, like from any type of singer. But for him to be a gospel singer and where he takes you, if you haven't followed him, Craig Morgan, you have to follow him. He is just the most amazing spirit ever. But it was something that he talked about, and I want to transition really quickly, because this week on Championship Mentality, I want to get coaching here, because I think we're starting to hit on something, and we're starting to run into something that I want to talk to Coach about, and want us to all understand what's actually taking place, right? What are we learning through Championship Mentality? Coach, I see you got on that cap of red. You got on that cap of red today. Be careful, Coach, with that cap of red now. You're going to maybe go put some purple and gold on, Coach.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. What's up?
Hey, man, what a pleasure listening to Craig, man. It's unbelievable.
Is he not unbelievable, bro?
Yeah, man.
He is the most, I'm telling you, I don't know if I've ever met another spirit besides yours, like, that has the spirit of just loyalty. Man, he is one of the most loyal people I've ever met in my life. And we text so much. It's like we've been missing each other or needing each other. So I am really excited to have him.
Man, you know, y'all went through something together, man. And you know, when you go through something together with somebody, like deep stuff, I'm not talking about partying. I'm talking about the struggle and survival and pain and loss.
Yeah. Man,
you develop a bond.
Yeah.
And most of the time they be life bonds, man. So that's awesome.
Brother, and that's why I'm going to jump right into this, because we got to get into this right now, because somebody need it. Somebody's starving for it. They hungry. They done gave it away. They need to pick it back up. And I'm telling somebody today, I need you to change your vocabulary to simply make, this is your language for the next however many days we have in this year. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. All things are possible. Through Christ and T, all things are possible, T. T, we know that anything is possible, Coach.
I tell you, Ray, all our listeners, all our followers, all our friends out there that may be watching the show, all we have to do is sit back with an attitude of gratitude, like Craig said, and also reflection. And we all could think about at some point in life that God made a way out of no way.
Wow.
Whether it was finances, whether it's depression, whether it's going through the loss of a loved one, like he lost his son. I mean, how do you rebound from that? All things are possible. Whether it's COVID, 800,000 people are gone from COVID, but we survived. All things are possible. Like just really surviving obesity and anxiety and depression and all these things that are going on in our world. Somebody out there needs to understand. I know that I do. I know that you do. That all things are possible with God.
All things. All things.
And go ahead,
bro,
Ray.
But that's why I trusted loving yourself right? Loving yourself. If God says when people see you, they see, and he sees an image of me. Then when you see you gotta see light. See, you cannot limit your challenges. You must challenge your limits. That's one thing that we keep getting stuck with, right? We stop challenging ourselves, but we must, one thing we've always did is we've always pushed the limits. We've always challenged the limits. When they said you couldn't go no more, you had to keep going. When they said that you was hurt and you can't play no more, there's a difference of pain and injury, but even an injury with the right mindset, anything is possible.
And it's so true, Ray. And I'm just going to go speak from my experience. And I think I could touch on yours too, man. Like a lot of times, because we're a man or we're strong, or somebody might believe, so much in their intellect that they could do anything. And most of the time, sometimes people make a goal and they achieve the goal and they become proud of themselves. But I'm talking about this walk. When you get past 40 years old, 50, 60, there's going to be something in your life that you're going to need God for to help you get through it. There's going to be nothing that your will can get you out of it. And all those other things, you're going to have to get through it with God. And with me and for you, I know faith plays a major role in that. You got to have faith. Like, what do you believe in God for? Right. We're saying anything is possible, but what are we believing God for? And do we have the faith to believe in it, to manifest it? And so to out there, all our team out there, man, look, man, I agree with you, Ray. Anything is possible. I believe that anything is possible with God and with faith. Man, we can overcome anything. He's proven it.
Over and over, he's proven it. See, and all of these worlds that we want to live in, but the one world we run away from is actually being present, understanding that you have a choice to make. Like when it's possible, you have the ability to adapt and overcome. You know this. We know this. People who's listening. Some things you cannot go around. Some things you must go through. And because of your scars, it's interesting when you can tell the lineage of a certain lion. You can tell a lion by his scars, which means he lived a little bit. He's been through some battles and lost some, but he kept who he is, T. Coach, we got to get back to all of the principles that we're starting to teach and all of the principles that we went down the road from head, from mind, body, spirit, however you want to break it down. Now we're talking about application. We're talking about now doing shows where we're just talking about having conversation on what's next. Because if anything is possible, then you got to get out your own way about being stuck in your past. It's time yesterday, right? That's.
I tell you this, Ray. I remember one year we was training, and you was like, this early, man. I mean, early 2000. And somehow during the conversation, we end up talking about your pops, rest in peace. And at the time, you was like, "Nah, man, I ain't got nothing to say." You know what I mean? Like he said, "I'll see you," and he never returned. So it always was something with you and your father that really, really, really was on your heart. Yeah. And you wasn't trying to have it. And I'm like, we was going through a season, because we always go through a season where we focusing on something, whether we're reading a book or focusing on the word. In this particular off season, it was about forgiveness. And I never forget, I sat down and I said, "Ray, for where you trying to go, man, you got to forgive your father for what he did. You got to forgive him." And you know what you did? Man, you worked that thing out, and y'all took a car ride from Florida to North Carolina. It was about 10 hours. And the only thing I remember you said was, "Mont, he talked 10 hours. And I didn't say one word."
I didn't say a word.
You listened. And bro, the point I'm trying to make is, we mended, y'all mended, man. We ended up having talent shows, karaoke, the jokes with Pops. I mean, we filmed workouts together. Life became beautiful.
Yeah.
But a relationship that you thought was irreconcilable became a strong father and son relationship. So what I'm trying to tell you, the point of the story is, with God,
anything,
all things are possible. As much as I love you, I can't say, Ray, man, you changed your heart, Ray, and man, you were so willing to forgive. Even your mother tell you, she's like, boy, that Junior, he's stubborn. He's stubborn. He ain't go. Once he make up his mind, that's it. But man, God dealt with your heart. It was the Spirit of God that allowed you to have that relationship with your Father and open up and forgive him. The moral of the story, man, is that anything is possible with God. And if you don't need God in the situation, keep living, keep doing your thing. You can have a great life. But I'm just telling you, there are some situations in life that you're going to need God for in order to get to the next level. So, man, I just thought about that, man, and it just really solidifies what we're talking about today, that anything is possible. I'm not talking about for no big house or a car. It could be a relationship that you thought was severed. God could mend it. You know, if you're dealing with blood pressure medicines and dealing with obesity and maybe a disease, man, if you believe God, you can get through it. There's not one disease that's been on this planet Earth, not one, that a person hadn't been healed from.
Wow.
And so, man, that's a word for the day for our championship mentality team, man. Just believe in whatever you believe God believing for. Just attach God with it.
That's it.
And then anything is possible.
Yeah. He said, ask and it shall be given.
Yes.
Ask and it shall be given. That's why I said I appreciate you as a brother. You hear me? Boy, you wore that cap of red today and you went to Deacon Sanders.
Oh, man, stop playing.
Well, you rough. I mean, you playing this one. I know you said I got to put that cap of red on him today.
Hey, man, that's just the way it is.
I may put an all purple silk suit on next week.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. Hey, one thing before we go, Ray, you talk about all things possible today, and we're talking about with God. One tip I want to give somebody, just based on my experience and your experience. All things are possible with God, but it won't be easy.
Man, but it won't be easy. I knew you was going there. I knew you was going there.
And so, like, you could be like, okay, I'm believing God, and I really believe in God, and I'm having faith, and I'm having actions with what I believe. But man, this road, this ride right here, this life right here is not for the faint of heart. It's possible with him, but man, it's not easy.
It ain't easy.
And sometimes it can hurt. But if you can get through it, like you said earlier, it's greatness on the other side.
You get through it. Boy, that's why I love you.
Love for life, King.
You don't know nobody with that cap of red. You know I got to throw me
to the day I die.
You know, I tell you one thing about authentic friendship, when you think about Coach, is who are you when you're around that person? When somebody makes you want to strive to be better. I know we're speaking now on the whole ethos around anything is possible. But I want to share this with anybody who's willing to be bold enough to grab it. Purposeful persistence can create a brand new reality. But it's got to be purposeful. See, sometimes we got all of these ideas, and because it's not aligned with purpose, it's hard to be persistent. So then it's impossible to create. So the brand takes a hit, and then your new reality turns into the old reality because you're stuck doing the same things. We're talking about making anything possible. 7 key life rules to do this. You must take care of the mind, body, and spirit. You must make peace with your past. You must avoid out all of this negative talk. Block it out. Block out everything you can block out. You must put on blinders. to know that anything is impossible. You must avoid negativity. Stop comparing. I don't compare myself to nobody. I don't need to compare myself to nobody. It ain't about sports. If I'm the best in this, I am who I am. I am king, and I'm in my lane. We don't have to compare. No excuses. There's no excuses at all to give up. None. We have to figure out a way to keep fighting in life. That's when you know things are possible, when you trust God. Being a nice person, you have to practice being a nice person. You just can't wake up in the morning and be nice. My biggest prize to living a life of peace is found in my smile. When I go there, everything that I've been through, I realize it made me who I am today. The question for you today is, has everything you've been through turned you bitter and taken away your imagination? Or do you still believe in the impossible? Man says many things are impossible. God simply says all things are possible. God bless you. See you next week.